Hi, I'm Sarah, a certified professional midwife and founder of Heaven Sent Home Birth. Today we are going to make bone broth. Bone broth is a fantastic thing to incorporate into your diet if you're pregnant. It's rich in collagen and gelatin and also rich in something called glycine. Glycine is one of those amino acids that can actually help your body fight against preeclampsia and other inflammatory problems, as well as a whole host of things. But let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing you're going to need is, of course, some bones. I did a barter with a client of mine for some locally sourced grass-fed beef, which is amazing, and I got a whole bag full of bones. The more sinewy, the more rough cut, the more marrow, all of those things are good things to have in your bone broth. And then you're going to want some vegetables, just onion, carrot, celery, garlic. Honestly, that's all you need to have. Everything else is just really icing on the cake. I also wanted to add some extra peppers that I grabbed from the garden. I like a little bit of rosemary, some bay. I also have a little bit of Kombu seaweed over there. It just adds a little extra nutrition and iodine since I like to use sea salt. And a little bit of apple cider vinegar also helps extract some of the minerals from the bones. I've added everything to my pot. I'm going to add a little black peppercorn to it as well. And then I'm going to pour in filtered water just because the Des Moines water has been just a little sketchy lately. But you're just going to fill it up with water until you hit that max line or you're covering all of your bones and vegetables by like an inch. And then I like to add salt to my broth just to give it a little bit of flavor, but you certainly can make a salt-free version. And I am using an instant pot, but you can surely use a crock pot or a stock pot. I am just impatient, and this is the quickest way to make broth. While we are waiting for that to cook, I just wanted to show you a book. This is called Real Food for Pregnancy. This is where I'm adapting this recipe. The nice part about bone broth or doing any type of like stews or slow cooking is that you can get some of the cheaper cuts of meat, and it's actually better for you because it has a higher amount of that collagen and glycine. People pay for collagen supplements when really you could just be making some whole foods. If you tend to eat a lot of lean meats, which of course those are really good for you as well, but if you know that you mostly eat chicken or things that are very lean in fat, you might want to consider adding something like a bone broth to your diet. So that way you are getting some of those important things like glycine, collagen, all of those. It's especially helpful at the end of pregnancy in that third trimester when your baby is building more muscle and fat and connective tissue. And there we have it. Yummy bone broth. And you can tell everything has fallen apart. That's exactly what I want. So I'm just going to be scooping out all of the big bits, and then I'll use a fine mesh strainer to get the rest of it. There we go. That is exactly what I'm looking for. Look at this beautiful golden broth here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this whole bowl in my refrigerator, and in the morning there should be a layer of beef fat there that I can just take off so easily, and the rest should be delicious. And this is it in the morning. Right now I'm just skimming some of that fat off of the top layer. You can kind of see underneath is what we want. Now that I have all of that fat removed, look at this jiggle. That's what we're looking for, folks. That's the good stuff. What you can do with this now is you can put a cup of this in a mug, warm it up in the microwave in the morning, salt to taste, and you can consume that if you want, just like you would a supplement in the morning, or you can absolutely warm this back up and make soup. Some people will also put this in ice cube trays and store it that way. However you want to use it. You can also put this in a jar and stick it in your fridge, and it should last for several days.